play and just win a tournament. You've got to do it every single week.
Yeah, and we are going then into the start of our second series. Starts up on Breach Hardpoint, as we did before. Epsilon on the left-hand side, Splyce on the right. And already into the ban and protects. It looks like we are going to be seeing Vesper for the first time today.
Yeah, protected by Joe. He's a big fan of that, obviously, and his team.
Whoa.
Really big target ban. I mean, when the Vesper's protected, you take away extended magazines.
Very
and literally those 45 in your chamber goes very, very significantly down to 30. And as well, Splycer basically said, you can have your Vesper, but you're not having extended mags, you're not having grip. So good luck with that.
I like that. That's actually relatively kind of intriguing to see. That's one of the first times I've seen like a Vesper Protect followed by such target bans. It's a nice kind of good to see the Splycer switched onto this one. Now we're going to be going back to the standards. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Rapid Fire follow that one as well, as these attachments is just 100%. Being shredded away. Because I mean, Vesper with Rapid Fire, yes, you've got no extended mags, but still you can just melt those faces off. M8 did get taken away, so we're going to be seeing. Whoa! Talk to me about this one, Phil.
Perk 1 greed for me. You're looking at Perk 1, you're looking at your flak jackets. Overclock. You're looking at Afterburner and Overclock. Those are the ones you're using. But recently, we've seen so much Afterburner. And look, map of his machine. It's Breach. So we've seen people fall off already a lot on this.
We have.
People have taken away their Afterburner. So if I was to say to you, which one are you going to choose? Bear in mind, HCXD car is taken away. Are you going to choose your flak jacket? Are you going to choose your Afterburner or Overclock?
This is a tough one. I mean, nades are available. Nades, especially, you know, you think about that middle hard point.
Yeah.
Nades are available, you want flak jacket. If you even want to be picking up for like longer than 5 seconds, you're going to want to have flak, but then you're also thinking Overclock is probably less relevant because of the absence of the HCXD. So it's a choice, it's a toss-up between flak and Afterburner, I'd say.
It is such an important one. I mean, say Epsilon have just been playing with one perk 1. They've got used to it. They're happy with it. Is Splycer a well-known team who like to stack up their perks rather than attachment? It changes their whole game, and it's really, really good to see something different like that. And whether it'll pan out in Epsilon's favor, we will soon see. But for me, looking at these specialists, let's run through it. Epsilon Joe with the Annihilator. You know, he's picked his favorite once again. Rated, that solid scythe player. Moose in the kinetic armor and finalizing things. Reedy and the heat wave. Very standard stuff for Epsilon. Yeah,
a little reminder, guys, we were talking about statistics earlier. Quicker, maybe the record holder for time on the hill. Just on nipping at his heels, though, was Reedy for Epsilon. He was that second player sitting about over 300 seconds on the hill so far in the games he has played on hardpoint. Going into Splyce roster, then we have Bance on Scythe, Orky on Kinetic Armor, Vortex with the Heat Wave, and Josh bringing the Purifier. So again, we're going to be seeing a double fire break from Splyce. It's exactly what we saw. In fact, we saw it on either side in our first game of Breach Hardpoint. This time, though, we're going to be seeing a slight switch up with Joe on the Annihilator.
Yeah, Joe loves that Annihilator, just pulling out a pistol. One-shot kill, like you said. You can clip any part of the body, and they are gone. They are shut down straight away. You know, you could even line up, and no, it's not going to happen, or it may do, but if 4 of them, or 2, let's be more realistic, 2 of them in one line of sight, one bullet will take them down completely. No questions. They'll be shut down. And for me, if a player like Joe or the likes of Tommy can do such damage and be so accurate with a weapon like that, it can be, it can be game-changing.
Yeah, it truly can, and we're just going to be jumping straight on into this one very, very shortly. Love the idea that we're going to be seeing perhaps a kind of Annihilator play to change the game for Epsilon, but I mean, I can't see through the absence of a Purifier. We saw just how effective it can be and just defending those hills. I think we saw like 20, 30 points given purely because that Purifier was in play, and I don't see the same thing happening with the Annihilator.
You're right. You know, the Purify is almost a bit of a safer option. Yeah. It's more of a spray and pray, where you Annihilate, you have to be on point. But, you know, if you've got a player like Joe who can do it, we'll have to wait and see. But going into the game, the Purify is always entertaining to watch. I love it. Just
crazy.
It has so much range as well. People underestimate how much range the Purifier has. I know Jerd is a big fan of the Purifier, and you know, he's a very accurate person. He's one who can use an Annihilator, but he opts for this more kind of broad kind of fire spread, if you like. But Breach is the map, Hardpoint is the mode, 250 points is that score limit, 5 minutes on the clock, and respawn delay is taken completely out of the question here. And on your right-hand side, a very beautiful rooftops of Gyro here. That middle point, obviously just showing where the hard points are. If any of you guys are unfamiliar with this game mode, get on Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and play this, because it is so fun to see.
Yeah, and here we go then, folks. Game 1 in a best of 5 between Epsilon and Splyce. Can Epsilon make it 4-0, yet to concede a loss? Or can Splyce kind of spice things up a little bit and continue on what looks to be a bit of a win streak? Of course, conceding a loss against Giants, they wanted to get back on the horse, and we'll be finding out as Vortex just pockets himself 3. What a start for him. 3 for 0. The rest of Splyce haven't needed to pick up a kill just yet. Josh does chime in with one, though, with his RK5 before getting taken down. And it does look like we're going to be seeing the early 20 or so points go their way. Finally, someone comes to contest. It is going to be Moose, and he is on the loose. Bant's on the hunt for him, but no, Rated's there as well. And we are going to be seeing a quick turnaround back in favor of Epsilon as they're going to try and take some control. But Splyce really breaching 20 on the break.
Yeah, I mean, Splyce have taken all the points. Epsilon get the first on the board, and now Bant's is shut down. Reedy coming into his own. He's picked up a couple of frags himself. Josh taking him down, though. Ex-teammates. The interesting story about this is Reedy left this Splyce roster. He chose not to be in this roster, and for me, that's the biggest thing to watch out for. Reedy's got a real point to prove.
Indeed, he has. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I left this for a reason, he says, but if they concede that loss, that reason is nullified. No, Bantz gets it on the rotate. He's going to open up for his team as Splyce will be able to get that rotation, courtesy of Bantz, and Bantz alone. I say that. Joe got the frag now. Vespa v Pharaoh, and Vespa is going to come out on top as Hawkeye is now gone, as is Vortex, and it does look like Epsilon, they may not have succeeded in Palace, but this second rotation is going their way.
Joe's on a 5-kill streak. Is he 150 away from that Wraith? That is game-changing. He needs to play for that. If he does, he's gonna get the 125. He's 25 points away. Not gonna get the Wraith, though. So influential. I mean, if he had like a Cerberus on, maybe he would have pulled it off, but no. 40 points go in favor of Epsilon. It's all going their way here on hardpoint number 2 as the trophy systems are out.
Did Joe have his specialist available? Would that have given him like enough to
Didn't.
No, he could have just maybe, if he'd had a heat wave or something, enabled him to pick up that kill. But no, not going to happen. Instead, Reedy's holding an angle and actually loses out. Look at that pressure applied by Splyce as they're trying to get, regain some control. I think the scrap points are going to be gifted to them. I say that. Looks like Moose is going to try and at least contest it. In fact, even more so, throw his body into that one. Good lineup of headshots from Splyce as it's about to kind of set their sights on middle. And I like what Bantz is doing here. He's going to hold them at arm's length.
Yeah, such a young player, such a player that's kind of come into this so new, and he's just an awesome slayer all round. Bantz hitting 10 kills first out of all 8 players here in the lobby. Heatwave is available for Vortex, and he's going to use it. 325 points rack up for him. Doesn't manage to get the score streaks, but Epsilon breach and break this hard point once again, and the points are going in their favor. Oh, he's going for a very low wall run.
That looks a little too low to me, but I think Vortex knows better than I. Look at that. Very smart play. Completely unnoticed, but managed to make nothing of it. A little disappointing from Vortex. We'll see if his teammates can do much more about it. Looks like they can, as Josh and Hawkeye do chime in with 3 together. He said already that the frags are coming in from Bantz. So, same can be said for Joe. You saw his 6-kill streak beforehand. Now looks like he's been doing a great work, sitting on 12, as you can see Bantz from the back line, going to being that staple with the mana warp. 5 bullets in the magazine is all he needs to take another one out of the running.
Yeah, looking at the start of this game, we're going to see some big numbers. There's no holding back. These teams are going head-to-head. There's a massive point to prove on the line here, and I can see 40 bombs, a couple of them either side for sure. Bantz on one side, Joe on the other. Joe is 14 and 7. I'm going on board with him. He's going to miss him. Shot in the back. Vortex getting the better of him, and now the Annihilator is ready. He has that Hellstorm available. Not going to use it, though, as the points are going in his favor. Josh shutting him down. Yeah,
and the hill is going to be, of course, inside. It does mean that Hellstorm's not going to be as effective. The rooftop could potentially be vulnerable, though. We'll be finding out as time does go on, and Vortex still seems to be that really kind of influential player so far, roaming around, causing havoc. Reedy's gone down as well. In the meantime, though, you can see Josh on your screens with Vespa. You have to remember, Vespa, no extended mag. That's a lot of reloading, and he is sitting now on just 29 for 0. He's trying to do his very best to bring this one. What's he rocking? Long barrel, rapid fire, and quick draw. He is sticking with rapid fire then, and that does mean that you're going to be running out of ammo so damn quickly.
Yeah, and just to kind of almost slow things down, as it evens up at 88 apiece as the tongue twister there. For me, it's just to really let you guys know at home the importance of this game, because Hawkeye is an ex-Epsilon player. Reedy is an ex-Splyce player. These have chopped and changed. They're almost rivals in their own rights, and this is a really kind of more bragging rights than anything. Yes, that leaderboard's so important, but to say you made the right decision is so important. Going to be going even. Stevens again, 99 apiece. Who's going to breach 100 first machine?
Looks like the answer is going to be Splyce as they do pick that one up. And look at Epsilon sitting at 99. This game really is neck and neck. Looking to fight for this one and fight for their right to party. Hawkeye, it does walk on in. There's another player just around the corner. He seems to have a good read on this one. Round the table, not going to be the one to pick that one up instead, but Josh does look to be crashing that party. Rated coming around with a fresh magazine and an RK5. No, Josh again. He's making that Vespa work.
Yeah, Josh made a huge two-piece there. Almost a turn on you classified it as, but Epsilon get the spawns. Epsilon are going to close this one out at the last 15 seconds because they have this back spawn. Moose just spawning up there fragging out.
Splyce are not going to be able to battle for this one. They are going to just about make it to middle before the final kind of 10 seconds, and they're going to have to roll over and accept that it's time for some Palace control, and Josh is going to be the one holding steady. Moose is the one to first go on the hunt. He knows there's a player to his corner, but does he expect the two coming around on the side? It's Vortex holding his partner's hand, and that's a real solid start as they're going to be taking early control, and now it comes down to how long, Splyce? How long is the question? Can you hold this? There's two players already wrapping around from Epsilon, and it does look like they're going to be struggling to find anything because Bance and Josh turn up.
Yeah, Vortex has most kills on the board, has the score streaks, has his specialist, still going strong. Vortex, a young talent here in the European Call of Duty scene. I think it's away from the lightning strike to my knowledge. Heatwave used, is it the two-piece? Yes, it is. Reedy and Rated shut down. Doesn't have the clip in his magazine to finish down the third. He was only 50 points away, sorry, from going over his score streaks once again.
You're right, he did actually concede a death. Now, you get all excited. I wanted to see a Wraith perhaps make an appearance. That would completely change the way this game does play out, but instead we're going to be seeing Josh lose out to Moose. Quickly traded. It does feel like Splyce are winning in these exchanges, but, I mean, talking of winning, look at that. Just 2 or 3 points separating them at this point as they are going to be preparing themselves for that rotate. It is just across the map, all the way over and towards this kind of deadly box room of death. Joe's going to be the first one to challenge him, and he actually does meet his demise. As now early control for Epsilon.
Yeah, it literally is just this small, close quarters.
How many trophy systems can you get down? Like
trophy systems. Oh, and that is shut down. The scythe so hard to, almost charge and get, and then it's shut down. Joe's going to get two-piece with his Hellstorm, but for me, look at that mini-map. It is all Splyce now in this second hardpoint rotation. They're going to hold this down and extend the lead.
Looking nice for Splyce. And looking to dice with death. It's going to be Joe going straight on in. He does hit the tac mask, but that's not going to be enough. Does find Hawkeye, but didn't stop him taking down his teammate in the meantime. Why they're overextending, I do not know, but Bance knows better than I as he gets rid of that one. Josh has got his Purifier out as he's lighting on the stage. And looks like Splyce, for the first time in this game, are actually going to be taking a considerable lead.
Yeah, Darcy trying to jump on board with Josh. Didn't actually know who was using the Purifier as Rated picks up 2. Splyce answer back with 2 of themselves. Make it 3. Now this is just Splyce 4 on the back. And look at the lead that they're extended to. 40 points going into this rotation. It's now going into the middle where I think Epsilon have got a little bit quicker. They have got those first kills, but it's a lot easier to break this middle one.
And you have to remember, no perk 1 greed. That flak jacket decision is going to be becoming all the more important here. No for such thing for Moose. You can see just with the overclock. Not going to stop him diving, though, into the head of Josh with his Vesper as they do rotate around. And now we see that room, that scary, easy to nade room becoming very, very hard to maintain for Epsilon. Say that, though, they have just picked themselves up a quick 20 points without Splyce saying too much about it.
Yeah, Pharaoh in hand of Reedy. He's got the heat wave available. He's going to use it, and he's going to capitalize on it. Had to hold my words for a second there as Reedy comes in to save the day, but Josh answers back with the trade himself. He's 23 and 21. He's using long barrel, quick draw, and rapid fire as well. Seems to be the standard thing for the game, as we saw a few of them taken away, extended magazines taken away as well. Frag comes in, he's using the flat jacket. No, he's not. Manages to survive that. 10 seconds, though. Rotate's going to come in.
Oh, we had the audacity to peek that one. Those last couple of scrap points, those 6 or 7 points he could have just got from not extending, are no longer going to be going Splyce's way. Instead, though, they prepare themselves for that movement. Straight on over, and look who's there. It's going to be Bance straight on the case. He was on the rooftop, not going to be finding anything, though. Instead, it's going to be Vortex who does fill his shoes. Going for that long-distance CUDA play. He's surely dreaming. He's not going to happen. He does pick up the assist, though, and instead, it does look like Epsilon, for the first time in a while, have got the opening play here on the hard point.
Yeah, for me, Epsilon are doing really, really well. They've rotated early. They're getting the points. They're not letting them breach in. And we saw such a significant lead for Splyce, and now it just seems to get smaller and smaller, and it's all going to go down to the last hard point. I can see it right now. But no, Splyce have breached in. They're going to take this. They can they end it now? They can't end it on this one, Machine. But
thank you very much, maths wizard. But I mean, you have to say that heat wave has saved the day. 1 heat wave and 3 bodies drop in favor of Splyce. Bance now looking to do exactly the same thing again. There's 3 players in his crosshair, and he can't find one. The RK5, the Man of War, nothing's connecting. Fortunately, his teammates are switched on, and again, Epsilon are buried 6 feet under, and it does look like that final hard point, the final kind of death's door for Epsilon, is about to appear. Yeah,
Bance is lighting up right now. 35 kills to his name, more than anyone, and you know, he's so consistent at this. They need to lock down the back spawns. Whoever gets the back spawns on this, it's GG.
It's going to be worrying. I mean, that GG is kind of ever closer now for both teams. I think Splyce still not kind of convinced that this is theirs under the belt, and it most definitely isn't, especially with that beautiful new clock. Still 3 minutes for this one to go either way. It certainly won't be seeing the full time, though, but Bance, so effective. Look at this. Wow. Close quarters Man of War. 2 kills have never been so important. He looks like he's going to be trying to find more with the scythe, as he could very well have single-handedly picked up the win here. The scythe's going to mow them down. What heat wave, he says, as that's going to be 2-4-8, 2 points away, and it's going to come down to Josh just to secure those final final two. Splyce pick up the win. Rather neat and tidy, 250 to 200.
Yeah, I talked about 40 bombs. I thought there would be more, but no, it is none other than Benjamin Bance picking that one up. 40 kills, 25 deaths. What a ratio he has to show. And right now, Reedy's thinking, I left that team, you know? Okay.
Either way, Banner protects time. Let's have a little jump on in. It's going to be Fringe, Search and Destroy.
Ooh, he's taking away the Vesper.
All right.
He didn't like that.
M8, however, is going to be protected. Rated is like, okay, we'll at least have one of these God mode guns. It's going to be the M8 that comes out to play. And the question being, you know, we saw how influential Bance was with the Man of War. Is he going to continue this romance when M8 is available? You suggested he might.
Yep, I mean, the M8 being, it's usable. To say the least, but the Man of War seems to be Bance's favourite. Be interesting to see if he opts for that, but no snipers picked at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised if Overkill was taken away because we don't want to see those combos between the guys. But Moose doesn't like the old flashbang. He maybe prefers to use his concussion. No, Reedy takes that too. So both of the guys from Epsilon taking away the tacticals there. Obviously something they're not favourable of.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably be seeing Smoke as the tactical choice if it is made. We're going to be seeing Overkill then brought on in and out of the fray, by Bance. Takes that one. High Caliber is going to be gone. Rapid Fire still present. This could be the second game back-to-back where we do see Rapid Fire slip through the net. Of course, there is just one to come from Joe. What's it going to be, mate? He's thinking about it.
It's going to be something random with Joe. You can just tell it's going to be...
protect the grip again or something ridiculous?
It'll just be like banning... It might be the car...
Oh, see you later.
But no, Joe... making me look silly, taking rapid fire away. I think that's a big ban because M8 with rapid fire, that's lethal.
Yeah.
It really is lethal. But Josh, wow, such a quick pick there. He's choosing Ruin Overdrive and Rated, taking the glitch profit.
Okay, so that's a strong start then for Josh. He's always been that player that we can kind of admire to have two very different modes. He has the Josh up in your grill, and he has the Josh, hang on a second, is that an assault rifle? Like, he's got these two very different styles of play, and he's already demonstrated both of them so far in the World League. Picks are coming in thick and fast, though, and as you may expect, Active Camo, when available in Search and Destroy, is going to be picked up. It's in the same vein as Glitch. It's only going to be really effective in both Search and Destroy, maybe when you're uplink and you capture the flag. But Vortex takes that one, Bance on the kinetic armor, and Hawkeye bring in the heat on Heatwave.
Okay, and for me, you know, very, very similar. Obviously, we've got a little bit of a difference there on either side with your active camouflage and your glitch, but all in all, pretty standard for Search and Destroy. Fringe, one of my favourite maps for sure. You'll get these 3-lane games, and will it be the A bomb site in that small building on your screens? Will it be the one at the back, the B bomb site next to that red barn? Always a difficult choice for the boys here, but they have practiced this, they have scrimmed this time and time again. Let's see who will come out on top as they edit their classes. For me, I always think of key players to watch.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm looking at your Joes and your Joshes. I'm looking at your Jays.
The Jays.
Not Jays from Pulse.
Jays on my feet.
Jays, okay, we'll stop that.
We'll stop before we go crazy. Both of us beautiful singing voices, by the way. Maybe we'll have to preview that a little later on.
I disagree.
No?
I'm not saying you don't.
That hurts.
But for myself, definitely wouldn't say my future is in singing. You know, it's always a backup. I've always got it there in the back pocket if things go wrong.
Okay, good to know.
But it wouldn't be my first choice.
I am just taking a quick look at the statistics while we do blabber on. I wanted to try and see who was going to be the objective player for the boys of Splyce, and it does look like Vortex is the clear favorite in this one. He has got the majority of plants. In fact, he's picked up 4 plants in the games that they have played on Search and Destroy so far. So keep your eyes set on Vortex. He is currently sitting, he could not be closer to a 1 KD. He's at 1.01 KD. So he is absolutely on track as being that kind of objective-based player. Gets the kills as well, but he's going to be picking up a lot of deaths in pursuit of plants. And
what about Epsilon on Search and Destroy? I mean, you've got the numbers there.
I
mean, Epsilon, Search and Destroy, what are we wanting to be watching?
Well, I mean, looking at objectives, that 4-plant number is going to be cropping up once again, and it's going to be this time in the hands of Joe. So, I mean, that's something to remember. He has overdrive as well. We could be seeing him play for those, using that overdrive for a fast plant, perhaps, as opposed to fast positioning on his attack.
Yeah, has that overdrive, like you said, Machine. We're going to get into it, but before we do, let me explain this briefly. Fringe, Search and Destroy, 6 rounds is what you'll be aiming for. However, during the game, you're going to have 1 life. Plant time of 5 seconds, 7.5 seconds on the defuse. And on your screens, just to the right-hand side, that is the map. A beautiful scenery that is Fringe. Definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, myself too. I mean, it's just one of those ones you're going to be remembering for a while. as we have to see how that diffuse timer comes on into it. Let's go on into the action. I accidentally just declined my chair, and we're really trying not to laugh about it as I've become a midget at the desk. Fortunately, we're not on camera, and we're going straight on into it, boys. It is going to be Fringe, the second game of the series. Will we see Epsilon concede a second map loss in a row? It's finding out as already Splyce has started things off with a bang. Reedy gone, and these deaths are permanent in the round. Nade cooked up towards Barn. Nothing's going to be cooking there, though, as it's going to be 3 for 3. And so far, rather a kind of quick offensive coming out from Epsilon. Nice to see we're asking for more plays down train, and it's exactly what they've given us.
Yeah, I like this quick play, but one thing to watch is Rated watching the flank there on the opposing side. Who is that right at the back of the map is Hawkey, playing the same role. For me, Josh is the one to watch, though. But going into the game, Josh picking up one, making it better for themselves numerically. Rated, though, he's on the flank. He's got Vortex and now can join in on the action. Josh is going to be caught off guard. 1 versus 1.
Yeah, and it's all kind of pressure on Hawkey. He is the one that time is against. 18 seconds, he needs to pick up the defuse, but the kill will most definitely be difficult. He just walks straight into the bomb. Hawkey completely disregarding Rated, almost forgetting he exists. And Epsilon straight on down train, get the bomb and the round. You know, ironically, they are on track with that train push. Yeah,
first round going in the hands of Epsilon, looking like the Search and Destroy team they are claimed to be. And of course, the perk 1 greed has not been banned this time, so they can use whatever they like. But we see Rated opt in for that perk 3 greed there, Blast Suppressor and Dead Silence as well. Let's see what Bant is using exactly the same.
Oh, Hawkey's got those gorgeous, glorious, bright orange trousers on again. You know, that's the camouflage that you don't so often see.
Is it Hawkey, have you? I'm going to watch someone else so I can see these trousers one time.
Idea,
Who's behind Hawkey? Maybe Vortex.
Yeah.
Let's see Vortex.
No,
Vortex,
no
go back. Check out the pants, man. Joe taking down Josh, though. First blood in favour of Epsilon once again. Looking very favourable.
Look at Bance. Like, hang on a second. How much farther can he push up without being unnoticed? He's going to be kind of staring at the B side. There is a player high in the air. Oh, he's going to be caught off. Rated, really caught off guard, and now he's going to be able to get away as well. Bance, solid movement, solid aim, and he's going to be gliding away with a smile on his face as he's managed to level the playing field. Vortex is actually kind of in a bit of dead man's land. I'm a bit worried about this one because the bomb needs to rotate. He's managed to kind of get himself over there nice and quickly. And now it's time to see if that bomb can go down.
Yeah, so those nice, luscious pants there as he came back in. But Ban's going to pick up another kill from the exact same spot as Vortex goes for the plant. This, who is that just around the corner? It's going to be Reedy. He's got to spot him in the plant. The plant has gone down. But he made the kill.
Second. I mean, just as he was shutting that case, he did go down. And now look with the RK5, he spotted 2. He realizes this isn't an exchange for either the RK5 or the M8. Does manage to evade himself nicely around the door, and it falls to Hawkey. Him versus Reedy. Hawkey doesn't have the health for this exchange. Instead, playing it smartly, he evades the door. He's going to come into contact with him. It's a battle in the air, and it's going to be Reedy who does bring up that one. It is going to be a blitz, as it's going to be going 2-0. And Epsilon starting strong both on attack and defense.
Yeah, lost my breath a little bit there. I thought Hawkey had made an awesome play. He just jumped over the door and wall ran, and he basically eluded what Reedy was looking at. I thought he's going around him. Reedy doesn't even know, but Reedy spots it just on your kill cam there. You know, I think he's got over me. He predicts it. Red like a book.
So accurate. Look at that.
Yeah, and Hawkey shut down like a hawk out the sky.
He did not miss a bullet, and that was hot. That was hot. Nice one. Like
right on the spot.
I wish I'd have known that one. I'd have thought about that one, but instead, we are going to be jumping into our third round, and already Epsilon off to a flying start, looking to find that equalizer. The guy that did tweet in saying this is going to go 3-1. That's the only map Splyce is going to be picking up. Maybe, just maybe, you may be onto something, because so far, so good. Joe. Where's that bomb going?
Yeah, it's going to be again. You know, you talked about the North American squads pushing this. It looks like Epsilon have adopted that as well, and they're pushing this B-bomb site. Is he going to slide across? He's so... I mean, that BMP is not going to be very useful, but he's just scoping out the enemy.
Yeah, if anything, he can make a call, and that's going to be enough information gathered. Gets away with his life. He is bleeding internally, but that doesn't matter because the call has been made. And oh, who was that? Going for the little peekaboo, as he's going to be playing whack-a-mole eventually if that jump keeps on coming in from that player. I think it's Bant. Then he's holding it with the M8. They're going to come into contact with him, and he deals with it. Joe, bomb loose and body dropped.
Yeah, and Moose now left in a tricky situation because he's left all alone at the tracks. Though Rated, his co-teammate, he's got to pick up one. Bance knows that spot too well because he's picked up a couple of kills on the previous round, 2-0 to Epsilon. Bance trying to change things, though. 3 versus 2, all going to go down to the wide. 20 seconds left to go.
This is that disadvantage of that B push. If you do try and commit towards trains, you can get caught out by that Bance position. Another for him, as he is completely running away with it for his team. He's got so many frags under his belt already. You can see this is his second of the round. He just catches it, a little wind of the rotate coming around behind him. And again, accuracy too easy as he puts a couple into the shin of his adversary, as Bance and Epsilon are going to be struggling to find the equalizer. 2-1.
I mean, watching that kill cam, it's like a sixth sense that he had, and I'm not talking about the perk there. You know, it almost kind of, he felt him coming round. He thought, it's not right. It feels like it's
too quiet.
Yeah, and he almost had that. But look at this, a very strong A push from Splyce, changing things up. Looking like they're going a bit slower, actually. They seem to have come to a halt.
Yeah, I think they almost made the call, like, hang on a second, just wait a second. He has been pushing. Like, they almost anticipated that there was going to be an overextension from Epsilon. Instead, we hit ourselves a little bit of a quiet period. It's sometimes a rarity here in Call of Duty, but they're going to be kind of waiting this one out. And here comes the peak. Oh, that's a nice little angle from Bance. It does give him some safe intel. Josh finds one. Bance caught, though, on the auto climb. That's going to be kicking him. Now you have to wonder where on earth this next kill's going to be come from. For 50 seconds, and they have committed to this one. Splyce, the bomb's invested towards Junkyard. They cannot afford to just walk away and rotate. They have to go for this.
Yeah, Josh looks like he's trying to rotate. If he was shooting through the wall, I thought he might have FMJ on. Doesn't, though. Look how close those two players are. Just sat up in this A side. This is where he's going to come down to. I think Josh may challenge here, going for a cheeky one. But with that, he's not going to be able to. Joe picking up his second of the round. 2-kill streak. Let's see what he's doing so well as it goes to a 2v3.
Look at that bomb position. I mean, Bance, he's been so influential in the previous rounds, but his death there has cost them the round. There it goes, 3-1. And by dying so openly and in such a horrible power position for Josh, he just has to sit on that bomb and watch the round go his way.
Yeah, it's not like the bomb kind of fell to the floor. It was so obvious where it was. Moose watching Joe's back. That's what proper teammates do. Joe picking up 3 that round, though. You know, doing really incredible work for Epsilon. Picking up 3 himself, making it 3-1. As Splyce are going to try and answer back here. They are on the defense. Let's see what Joe's doing so well. And as the overdrive is used, he has the VMP.
Yeah, he's going to be gliding across just straight into it before he even gets noticed. And oh my god, he's going to come straight into contact with Hawkeye. He gets it as well. That's a big opener for Epsilon. Could this be 4? As already he's under their skin and he's looking for a third. Excuse me, a second kill already. I'm just giving him kills at this point without them currently taking place. He's backing away. Joe anticipating the flank, but already the bomb's going to be going down. You would assume Moose looking to try and profit from his teammates' work.
Yeah, for me, Moose lying down there, it's one of those positions where you think you've got the advantage, but because you're kind of so stuck and prone, it just didn't really favour him. Bance is the last one alive, 1 versus 3, makes it 1 versus 2, 30 seconds left to go on the clock. He needs to get this down. What a position, though. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Bance, everything kind of correlated to actually bringing this into a 1v2, but no hope. Rated quick on the trigger, makes it 4. And the search and destroy, you know, Epsilon, they were singing their own praises about their search and destroy game. This does feel very tight.
Yeah, I mean, Bance only picked up 1 there in Junkyard, but Rated hot on his heels, closing him down, making it 4-1. This is looking like the Epsilon we know in search and destroy. Very clinical, team disciplined, set up, everything a search and destroy needs to have. But Vortex yet to get off the scoreboard, 0-4 at the moment, whereas Bance top fragging at 8. Yeah,
this is going to be tough for Vortex if he does continue to kind of end the game sitting at 0. That's always a horrible one, especially when your team's so close some of these rounds. But so far, just the 1 for Splyce. Looking to make it 2. You can see that they are going to try for that B push, something that Epsilon, of course, started that ball rolling a little earlier on. Blood is drawn, though. Moose, the one responsible for it. And look at this angle being held by Josh, who's anticipating the flank, but that's not going to be enough. A second one tagged up. He is quite literally collecting tags at this point. And a third one towards Barney. He has good information. He knows where 3 of the 4 are. He knows where the majority of your opponents are, and that's a big step in the right direction for his team. But not that. Vortex gets caught. That's his 5th death without a kill to his name. And now Hawkeye needs to try and avenge it. He knows the angle he needs to hold, but it's so predictable. It is quite literally putting your head in the guillotine, and Rated was the one to pull the string.
Yeah, very much so. 1 versus 3. Joe has it all to go. Josh has it all to go. 30 seconds left on the clock. He's got to come behind one. Surely he can pick up this frag. No, he doesn't.
Oh, my Lord.
Escapes to the skin of his teeth. 25 seconds left to go. 1v3.
He has tagged every single member of his opponents so far. All of Epsilon have met his M8, but not enough to pick up the kill. And with 20 seconds left, the bomb's loose. He knows this is almost a kind of written affair. He knows it's over. He's instead just trying to make it interesting. Does catch Joe through the wall. Heavily tagged up. That may very well be your fence, I think, there, Momo, that you've been spending so much time on. But 9 seconds, he has overdrive, but that's not going to stop him from just continuing this hunt. Not going to find anyone. No time for the plant. And instead, you just see the Epsilon boys running to the hills. And that's going to be that.
Yeah, 5-1 though. Epsilon playing it very nicely. Coming back to the search and destroy aspects of things, Epsilon seem very comfortable going into this. But yeah, like you said, I think a very good phrase. It is literally like the guillotine. It's so easy to see. And of course, the only bullets you're putting in is their head. So, you know, one burst and they're gone.
That's what was so surprising in one of the first rounds. We saw Bance picking up 2 from that position. Like, it's not unpredictable. That's the problem. You can do it once maybe in a game and get away with it, but as soon as it becomes that kind of easy angle to hold from the rock, you've got yourselves a problem. The HCXD car is out. We'll see if he can drive them to victory then in this one, as he's going to be chasing on the heels of his actual teammate, trying to get some information gathered. And, I mean, that's one way to counter that rock play, is you sit there with a HCXD, entering into barn. In fact, to go, could he go loop right round behind? He doesn't look like he's thinking about it. Instead, just looking for information. I'm going to be catching the players off guard here. That should be one going down. No, the flak jacket is present, but instead it still sits at 3 for 3.
Yeah, Moose is left in a hard position because now he was on his own. Rated falls, and Reedy is in the impossible 1 versus 3 position. Shouldn't say impossible, because if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Reedy. He's done it before many times, has the heat wave available. I reckon he's going to use it on one of them. I really do.
He needs to get close first, right? And looks like someone's going to be feeding them, kind of jumping straight into his jaws. What was that? Bance with his back turned, and that's going to be a headshot for Reedy. And now all of a sudden this is a 1v1. Hawkey needs to find his 5th. He knows exactly where he is, and Reedy, oh, he is in the driving seat of this round. He's got heat wave available. He's got time. He knows where the bomb is. He thinks he knows where his opponent is, but Hawkey has repositioned, and this is smart. We do see him going for the real long rotate, and Hawkey now knows that time is his best friend. He's got his eyes fixed firmly on his wristwatch. 18 seconds, and Hawkey's done the full loop-the-loop. There's no way Reedy's anticipating this.
Reedy, if he pokes his head out this front window, opts for the back, and it's the wrong choice. Still could do it, though. It's going to come down to the wire. 10 seconds left. He's picked up the bomb.
Yeah, this is a horrible position to be in. That's going to be Hawkey finding him. If he'd have started planting there, that would have been a guaranteed kill for Hawkey, and his positioning alone picks that one up. That's what we talk about. You know, we say that Call of Duty brain. If you have the brain, you can find rounds without even pulling the trigger. Hawkey, that kill wasn't even necessary at that point. As you can see, the time was not there, and that's going to be an easy pickup for him.
Would have been a 1 versus 3 for Reedy. Was so close, picked up 2 frags, went onto that third, but Hawkey outmaneuvered him. And now, as we see, Splyce literally 1 round away from losing here, obviously. Oh, and now Bance is thinking of changing things up. Going back to, has he got this sniper, or is he... I think
Overkill was taken away. I believe. So instead, it is just going to be the kinetic armor and the VMP. It's good to see Bance on the SMG. You know, back to what else works for him. It seems like we're kind of seeing the dawn of the hybrid here in the Call of Duty Black Ops 3. As Bance holding an angle that we haven't actually seen adopted too much. It does, of course, involve the defensive side going for that overextension, that aggressive play. And if anyone was going to do it, it would probably be the boys at Epsilon. But so far, they are staying restricted. They're keeping themselves locked down, and Joe's HCXD has found someone.
Yeah, Bance still in the same position. Vortex. Oh, and this is the kinetic armor. He needs to check his corner. He's got to miss him.
Oh my God, they must have made the call. He's going to be caught from behind. He knows he's in trouble now from either side, and that's going to be the end of it. 6-2, Rated and Reedy, the double R, and indeed, that search and destroy was R-rated, as that's going to be 8-3 for the top fragger, and that's going to be an easy pickup to equalize it at 1-1 in the series.
Everything. So for me, I'm going to go back on what I said, which is Bance and I'm going to say Rated. Bance and Rated, the assault rifle players, the ones who should be putting up the big numbers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Rated is sitting at 5 throws and Reedy on 4. Quite surprisingly, that duo are the ones responsible for a lot of the uplink wins so far for Epsilon. But still, very early days, and so these statistics will change. I have no doubts that we will deviate from that leaderboard as we hit our kind of 4th and 5th weeks. But we're into the ban and protect, folks, and already the MA and the VMP. We've had to wave goodbye to 2 SMGs in the first 3 bans. And for the first time, actually, we're going to be seeing that, you know, it was actually been quite avidly protected. And now Bance has had to wave goodbye to the Man-O' War as well.
Yeah, definitely a target ban there. They know how strong he is with the Man-O' War, so they're going to make him use a different weapon. Is he going to use the XR2? Is he going to join the SMG club? One thing for sure, though, he won't be using active camo or rapid fire as they are taken away. And Josh and Joe, the only 2 left to choose. Josh taking away the Urban. Sorry, the MR6.
Did you do that on purpose? That's so brilliant. The Urban. It is indeed what the pistol is becoming. You say that, though. We did see Zed actually give them a bit of a masterclass with it himself. He was like, oh, it's available. Let me show you what I can do.
You're right, yeah.
He was filling up the kill feed with that sidearm frag. Now, though, last one coming in is going to be high caliber. Those headshots are not going to be doing any extra damage, or kind of a decreased amount anyway, as it's time for us to go into the specialist draft. It's uplink. You have to expect to see your kinetic armors. You're not going to be seeing any active camo with that removed, but overdrive, and you're going to be seeing stuff like that, aiding your survivability. Psychosis, always an interesting one. It does seem to be kind of a bit of a Marmite specialist. You either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, one thing for sure, though, it's entertaining to watch. I'm surprised no one's picked overdrive. That's got to be Josh and I was going to say Joe. But no, in fact, I keep going into old habits, bad habits. I keep thinking Joe is this SMG player.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's changed to an assault rifle player. Reedy has stepped into this this role. I've got to get that out my brain. Really hard though, because Joe's played that SMG role for so many years now, and he's just flipped it on his head and turned into such a versatile player. But running through the rosters, Epsilon rated, choosing that scythe, very, very standard stuff for him. Moose kinetic armor, Reedy Overdrive, that objective player now for the Epsilon roster. Newest member, obviously coming along from Splyce. And then finalising it here, Joe with the Annihilator. He'll be trying to make one-shot, one kills here on evac uplink.
Yeah, let's have a little look then how this one's going to be going down. The Annihilator is kind of that kind of one deviant other than the Psychosis, of course, on the other side of things. But Epsilon looking to kind of redeem themselves after that hard point. They did manage to kind of bag, search and destroy and do so rather convincingly. But Splyce, they've looked good in the past on this game type. We saw them, of course, yesterday falling flat to Giants on uplink, and so you have to remember that one. Went all the way, went onto those five maps, and so keep that one in mind. Keep that fresh in your mind, in your whatever it's called, your blah, 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 cortex. I'm pretty sure that's a part of the brain. Always
a big, important part of the brain is your blah, blah, blah. But 25 seconds left for these guys to create their classes. Changing things up. I mean, for me, this is where, I mean, these guys are so used to it, but if I had a timer on my create class, I'd be panicking so much. I'd be like, no, oh, I forgot something. I'd like feel the controller like slipping out of my hands in panic, like, oh my god, what did they get rid of? What can I use? What can't I use? Yeah. They're probably just shouting things at each other, but at this point, I mean, you know what, Bance has probably gone and had a little meltdown. He's probably punched a wall, seeing Mana War taken away. He's like, right, that's it, game's over, I can't play. But he does have Scythe, so for at least once, if not twice in this game, he will have a different weapon on his arm, quite literally, with the Scythe, and of course with Reaper. But no, it's going to be an interesting one. What weapon choices are going to be made? No Vesper, no M8. In fact, no, did the M8? No Vesper, no VMP, no M8, and no Mana War. So we're going to see we're going to see an interesting one. Yeah. Pharaohs and Kudas up against the likes of HVKs.
Was it Josh who's been bringing the Kuda in quite a lot?
Yeah, Josh is an avid fan of the Kuda. He's used it previously. He's sometimes opted for it when the VMP is available. Yeah. So with that in hand, you know, he does do some damage, and of course, for me, one to watch, but I'm going to stick to my guns. Rated versus Bance. You know, there's assault rifle players who are going to stand tall, very static. They're going to have that stock available, so a bit more maneuverability, as I try and pronounce that word very hard. But evac uplink, one more time for you guys. Unlimited score, time limit 5 minutes, respawn delay 5 seconds.
Keep your eye on that respawn delay. 5 seconds does make those frags all the more important, and that bodyguard element to this game type becomes so exciting to watch. You can see someone pick up 2, 3 pieces as that uplink is being ran, as the drone is being moved, and that makes all the difference. We are going to be seeing some Kudas there. It looks like we're going to be seeing it kind of alongside the HVK of Rated, taking a different assault rifle into the fray with the M8 and the Mana War removed. And let's have a little look how this opening game does play out. Certainly at 1-1 then as we go into our third of the series. Rated already draws first blood with the HVK, and look at this movement. 4 of them are making a move. Reedy takes the safe route though. He's going to go for the wall run. Yeah, 2 players go down, so they're going to have to back off. No, they're not. Reedy is literally running this all alone. He must have that. Has he got the afterburner? Who's it come down to? Who is that? He's going to go for the 1 point. Lovely movement as he's going to make it 1, and it's going to be Bance late on the defense. I thought he was going to make the kill as well, but no. I mean, just to almost, I know we've had a very hot start, but to calm things down a little bit here, what we're seeing is 3 Kudas and a HVK on the side of Epsilon versus 2 Kudas and 2 XR2s on the side of Splyce, but kills traded out either side. Drone is still just in that spawn. Vortex has picked it up. He's going for a run. Is he going to do this little wall run on the inside? Isn't going to be able to as Moose shuts him down. There's some very diverse wall runs here, and I can see that Vortex is wanting to start. Yeah, welcome to evac, man. This is what we're going to be seeing for the entirety of this game type. So far, so good for Epsilon. As we do see Bance still be the XR2. He's like, all right, I can work with a Mana War, I can work with the XR2. Just give me my assault rifle, and I am good to go. 2 players to find. Finds Joe, not going to get the second as Rated trades it out with a HVK. In fact, pockets himself 2. That's 2 players of Splyce now on 5-second death time. He's looking to make it a 3rd, but Hawkeye laughs it off with a Kuda. And the drone is going to be passed out into play. It's away from that spawn, it's away from that green room, and now we have to see how Moose and his co choose to play with it. Yeah, Josh adding to that score, and 2 kills back-to-back for him. He does have the Kuda gone again against 2. No, he cannot make the 4-piece. Does make 3, though, as the drone is taken away. Who has got that? I think it was Reedy as he falls to his death. This is what I want to see. Vortex, he picked up last time. Is he going for this wall run? He is.
And he's gone for it. He's going to go for the 1-point play. Gets the point, and now evening things up here. 1 apiece as we see that 3-minute mark ever so close. But look at that. You see Vortex staying strong in the enemy base.
Why did he take so long to pick up the kill?
This is where we see the chain reactor machine.
This is the run. That's going to be 2 points. Vortex, as soon as he capped it, he dug his heels in and said, this is my base now. Holds it steady, gets the kill late to force a timer. It was very, very beautifully executed by Splyce. And it almost confused me. I raised an eyebrow, and you already said it already, but it's just going to be kind of spiraling out of control. Here comes another one. This is that chain reaction, and it's going to be 5-1.
Yeah, and what we've seen here is Epsilon basically give up their own spawn. They push 4 through middle. Is it going to work? Not too sure at the moment. Vortex and Bant's going to pick up a couple of kills. And we see Splyce now with this 4-point lead on this favorable side. If they can do the same, if they can lock down the enemy spawn like they're doing, Vortex is going off right now. This is 7. This is getting out of hand. He has just got the Hellstorm to his name. And he's going to finally be put to bed by Joe. Him and his HVK do seem to be finding frags in pairs at this point. As Hawkey's running out of ammo, he's going to be forced to refresh magazine. He is going to be eliminated for his shortcomings. But 6-1, just 3 minutes into this uplink. Yes, they have the favorable side. It looked a little shaky for Splyce. They conceded that first point, but they've come back, and they've come back swinging. Yeah, indeed they have. 6-1. Splyce looking very strong. Kinetic army. You saw Bant's not able to kill him. Is he going to be able to finish him? No. Moose keeping himself in the game, but has been taken out by Hawkey. Now look who has picked it up. None other than Vortex. I want to see him do this run, please. No. Oh, he's going. He goes to the one on the right-hand side. It's a nice little lineup. He goes straight on up, lines it up with the vine, and it's a quick 7. Yeah, another 1 point added to it. More throws, and the stats are going to be crazy for the boys on Splyce after this game. 11. Vortex and Bans just going off. All those streaks available, and the pass is going to come in for sure. Josh? No, he's not.
It's like my turn now. I need to get some points. He's going for that route. He's going for that 2 point. He's going to walk straight on past his teammate, his bodyguard, and pick that one up. Overdrive as well. He's going to go straight on back for the reset. This is going to be great. He's like, my turn again. Oh my God, the hipfire isn't there though. Still windy in Josh's house as Moose does pick that one up. And now we do just see about 70 seconds left. All those score streaks that you saw accumulated for Vortex, he's going to save them for that less favorable side. Yeah, and now Epsilon have their chance to put a few points on the board. It's going to be shut down very quickly. Moose answering back with not only one, yes, it's only one, as Hawkey proves me wrong, taking down Moose. 9-1 though, 1 minute on the clock. Joe on your screen. Look at the kill-death ratio from the boys on Epsilon. You've only got Moose going positive. Yeah, and it's kind of astounding to see, really, considering that we have seen Joe being very effective with HVK. It's root time again. Look at Vortex. The dude is fast becoming one of my favorite to watch on uplink with this kind of quality of movement. He's stalling it as well. He's coming back around. He's trying to change his mind. He is, however, going to be losing that one, and the drone is reset. Is it? No, hang on.
Oh, no, he's not. It's
really
been picked up somehow.
It must have just rolled onto the side, and that's actually going to be kind of feeding Reedy 1, if not 2. He's going for the 2 points, and that is going to be a much-needed third for Epsilon.
I mean, taking it from, you know, an 8-point game to a 6.
I need to know where that went.
I think he literally killed
As his
him.
Body fell, he must have just kind of rolled onto the ground.
Not over. Vortex again, definitely the drone carrier for the boys on Splyce, extending to 10, unlocking the psychosis, has that line of strike available. Going into round number 2, though, we see a 7-point game.
Splyce looking fierce in this one, just coming back with a vengeance. It does seem like Splyce, as soon as they have the opportunity to respawn in a respawn game type, they truly do look like a team to be reckoned with. A top 4 team, dare I say it, as that's where they currently do stand, and we're seeing for how long Hawkey was effective as well. Top of the scoreboard for Splyce. You saw him picking up that round-ending kill cam, and now we have to see how the tables turn with Epsilon in the driving seat.
Will they turn at all? Bant has that, I can't think of it, Scythe.
There you go, mate.
Can't even think of a specialist. I'm losing my mind here. 5 minutes on the clock, though. 7-point game, and he's unlocked this. He's using the race straight away. Rated, taking down teammates.
That's really not the start you've been looking for, Epsilon. He decides to kind of put the scythe to bed for a moment, and instead he's going to be going for a run with the drone. It should be a quick one-pointer. In fact, he's lined it up nicely. That could very well be it. It is. It's 11. And look at Splyce. It doesn't matter what side they're on. They've put some time, they've put some effort, some blood, maybe even some tears, and they've managed to make uplink their game mode.
Really selfless play from Bant. You know, he had that scythe available for probably another 20 seconds.
He did see the opportunity, though.
Yeah, and he took it with both hands. But Joe, picking up a double with the Annihilator, he gets taken down. But still, 4 minutes, 15 on the clock. Splyce still looking the stronger team. Rated so close to the drone. Who is that round the back? Rated and Moose combining for the 2. Don't make it 3 as Bants. It's a wall on Splyce. He's not letting anyone pass right now with XR2. Nearly has that scythe once again.
Let's see what they can do. There's still so much time on the clock. You cannot really write Epsilon out of this one for a while. However, so far, so good. You can see this patience really being completely displayed. He's going to get away with it. That, my friends, is great movement. And that's going to be a good read. But it's not going to stop Josh still going on the hunt. Repositions his way towards middle, as he is still kind of keen to find this one here on the rooftops of Singapore. That's going to be another one goes down. It's going to be Josh then. He's struggling, and that's going to be an easy pickup as Epsilon is starting to find the necessary kills. Those 5-second death timers are going to be causing havoc, as that's going to make it 11-5.
Look at those yellow arrows spawning in a very difficult spot. This is going to be another easy 2-point play, and for me, Splyce need to do something really, really strong here. They're opting to go through Epsilon's base. Really tactical play, because now what they can do is pinch the boys from Epsilon and stop this chain reaction. If it gets any worse, we could see a big comeback from Epsilon.
It certainly is looking possible. Let's not forget how quickly Splyce accumulated those points. Does look like the counterplay has worked perfectly, though. It does become a 2v2 thanks to some kills. Oh, so quick from Josh. The overdrive just glides straight on in, fist to the jaw, and that's going to be an easy pickup for him. The drone did go down, though. No 1 point for him. They're not going to be able to extend that lead, and we are going to be seeing again the exchange between Joe and Vortex. When he's not making the runs, Vortex does look like sometimes he's hitting a bit of a wall and trying to enter in towards the enemy base.
Yeah, Josh, big HC car kill. He's going to take down Moose and now pick up the drone himself, recharge that armor, and he is off. Look at that mini-map. No one is going to stop him.
This should be 2 points. We saw, of course, the route you can take if you need to panic, and the panic button, that is going to be the 1-pointer. Changes his mind. It's 12, and he's still breathing just for a second before he gives us a little backflip. A gymnast in his spare time now, as he's going to see Epsilon. Look at that, filling it up. Complete spawn wipe, as it's going to be all of Splyce. Reset back to basics, and we have to see what Joe can do. Moose is clearing the way for him. He's paving the way for his teammate, but I don't think he's done enough. As still, here comes the potential 2. No, just the 1, as Joe falls a little flat.
Yeah, really good play from Epsilon. You know, they're getting points on the board, and that's something they're not used to at the moment here coming into uplink. But for me, Splyce just needs to almost hang on. They need to play the clock. They have this 4-point advantage. They need to dominate this right-hand side from their point of view.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what they haven't been using as much as you would expect is middle. Middle is such a great avenue into green, into a kind of coming around towards your opponent's spawn. Now, though, it is Bance going for a run. He was responsible for one of the points they managed to pick up on this side, but he's gone. He is long gone. The drone loose, but Josh is not going to watch that one slip away just yet. As Hawkey picks it up, he pops his kinetic armor and makes it 13. Unlucky for some, but could it be good for Splyce?
I mean, look at that. Kinetic armor, 1-point play, 2 kills in the bag. What is this? What can this guy not do? He can use his HC car and get a 3rd. Does get taken down, though. Reedy is the man to do so, but is it too little too late, as we only see 90 seconds left on the clock?
I see Josh has got overdrive as well. We saw what kinetic armor can do. Let's see if they can get this one in, though. The drone is on the way around. Bance has found that. You can see just how aggressive he's playing right behind enemy lines, but he is going to be finally taken down, just 1 away from that 20-kill mark.
Yeah, so fast-paced, this uplink game. Almost too quick to follow. Hawkey's going to pick up that. The overdrive's actually in favor of Josh, and I love how Hawkey's just like, I don't want it. I'm getting rid of that.
Get rid of that. Change my mind. Don't want to give that to the opponents. When talking of opponents, Reedy has actually managed to pick that one up, recover it. It didn't quite roll out of play. And instead, we have to see what he can do with 50 seconds. They're starting to run out of time, but look at that. They are just 3 plays away, 3 2-pointers from picking up the win here. We're not going to be seeing that, though. The melee comes in, Reedy needs 2, and he knows it. That's going to make it 10. And all of a sudden, they are just 2 caps away from keeping this level.
Oh, if you can make these plays. Rayid's picked up 2 here. This is going to be interesting because Splyce need to get back in their base. They need to fight through. Are they going to go up to go to the back to their base or push through their middle? They are going to do it.
Look at that, it's going to be feeding it. Oh, going to be the save! It's going to be caught up by Josh. He's getting that straight out of play, overdrive, and he is out of there. The game of survival. He's going to be keeping it on the wall. As soon as he goes down, that drone will be reset. Smart movement from Josh. Look at this. He's just keeping it so smart. He's actually keeping our observer on his toes as well, as he's just going to be moving around 14 seconds. And Josh, just a real tease. He's still breathing. He's still running. Josh has made the play of the game, and he hasn't fired a bullet.
I'm surprised he didn't fall off into a barrel of hay there, doing what he was doing. But Josh, really impressive stuff there, just to hang on to that victory. 3 points clear. Very well played from him, but that was getting a little bit too close for comfort, I've got to say.
Yeah, really. I mean, Epsilon started to close that gap and close it fast. I think it was very smart to see Josh get away with it, using his overdrive defensively and on uplink. Not something you're so off.
Straight away jumping in here to the ban and protects, but Stronghold, we see so many defensive plays on Stronghold. We see Search and Destroy being played defensive, of course. We see, you know, Hardpoint can't be played that way, but Capture the Flag, when you have this, you'll have those 1 plays, you'll have your rated, you'll have your bans right at the back of the map in their little igloo of snow, if you like.
I like it.
But let's talk a little bit about these bans. Hawkey taking away that M8. Reedy doesn't want any fast gameplay with that overdrive. Josh taking away the pistol.
Okay, so active camo, we have to wave goodbye to that one and Capture the Flag. Same kind of story as uplink, where players just do not want to be seeing any kind of objective play enhanced by that kind of near invisibility. You're not quite completely invisible. You can just see that kind of shimmer of a player's outline. Vesper's gone, but late. Rapid Fire and High Caliber following. The MR6, though, intrigues me because there's no Urban in play. However, we are still waving goodbye to the sidearm.
Yeah. I mean, the MR6, it just shows what type of a weapon it is. But Rated, really putting that to Bance. He's taking away the Man-O War. Wants him wielding a different assault rifle. And it didn't work last time. They took the Man-O War against him, and he pulled out the XR2 and still pulled damage. So as the boys change their classes with 80 seconds left to go, Hawkeye just changing, talking about these specialists that they've chose.
Yeah, so why don't we just run down both of those rosters? Of course, they are going to be becoming staple names of the European Call of Duty scene, but we're loving just how many new players and new viewers are turning up to watch the World League and are starting to turn their attention to Call of Duty esports. So the names for the rosters. For Splyce, we have Hawkeye rocking the kinetic armor, Josh on the overdrive, Bance bringing in the scythe, and Vortex looking to cause some paranoia with Psychosis.
I'm looking at that, and I don't see the actual wording kinetic armor. Is that coming up? I don't know.
The names aren't
but
there,
luckily, we've been through this a few times. We know what we're talking about, as I probably will get it wrong. But no Epsilon. Reedy using the overdrive. Joe with that Annihilator. Moose on the kinetic armor, and of course Rated with none other than the scythe.
Yeah, we'll be seeing here who can reap the benefits of that scythe pick. You see what I did there?
Yeah, reap.
Yeah,
I get it.
Thank you very much. Bance picked it up on the other side of things. The only change, the only one exception is going to be exactly identical to Uplink, whereby Joe takes the Annihilator and Vortex with the Psychosis. Vortex was definitely the man to watch in that Uplink. I'm intrigued to see if we can see similar movement. I mean, I think Stronghold, there is actually limited options when it comes to kind of eluding your enemy with movement. I'm trying to think, I mean, you've got the runs on the rocks on the sides, you've got very predictable play around that kind of hut area. I think this is going to come more down to aim than it did on the Uplink.
Yeah, it's going to be all about those cut-offs as well. That's why I say it's more about your assault rifle players, because those are the ones that are going to close things down. But Vortex, I mean, you know, if you're watching this Vortex, I'm very impressed with him to start with. But he's such an unknown player. I mean, I'm not going to quote how many, say, Twitter followers or fans he has, but a lot less than, you know, your Epsilons, your Millenniums. And this guy's come into this Call of Duty World League with no pressure. He's joined a very solid roster. He's got great people around him, and he's just performing on the same level as everyone else, maybe more. You know, he's really stepping his game up. But Stronghold capture the flag. Obviously, the rules there. Score limit unlimited. 5 minutes on the clock. And the respawn, the big one here, is 7.5 seconds. Such a long time.
Yeah, and that's going to kind of be the one you keep your eyes locked on. We saw just how influential the 5 seconds on Uplink can be. Now you just throw an extra 2.5 on there, and it can get really dicey when it comes to the power of the Slayer. And you said the assault rifles are going to be big. Just thinking back, kind of reminding myself of Bance and what he was doing on the hardpoint game type. We're back into a respawn game type. Those frags can be all the more important. And so eyes are set on someone like Bance on his side of things. We are just restarting, guys. So we're going to be coming back to us just for a second to make sure we have everything resolved with the rules and make sure we have ourselves a good, clean game from everyone.
I want to ask you a quick question. You know, you saw the globe kind of rotating around behind it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, maybe, do you know where Stronghold's kind of set?
I believe it's a Swiss chateau, if I'm not mistaken, in the mountainside of the Alps.
Got it. Oh, I really wanted to catch you out. I really did.
I didn't even blink.
It was not only where it was what it was, and you almost kind of put a bit of an accent on it as well. Very impressed. I'm impressed with Vortex, and I'm impressed with Machine.
Thanks, man. I've got a smug smile on my face now, because I literally panicked for a second. I was like, what's he going to do? Is he going to point to it like...
Phil,
is he going to point to it like on this, and you're going to be like, what's that? You're not gonna play that game.
Oh, sorry. What were we saying?
I thought that's what you were gonna do. I thought you were gonna throw him into the bus and be like, "How's your geography, Alex?" Bang! Where is that?
Well, I mean, you said your English is strong. I've said my maths. I mean, how is your geography?
I had a choice at when I was like 15, 14, and I chose history over geography.
I mean, I took geography and history.
Oh, you did both.
And I'm definitely a geography person.
You are?
History's not my strong point. So,
okay.
And I mean, you look like a bit of a historian
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And that's a compliment, by the way.
I got the majority of my history kind of knowledge from various adverts on television. You know, I'm just thinking about 1066.
I was thinking the same thing.
Never going to forget the Battle of Hastings with that one. I'm also a big advocate for the kind of 100 Years' War. Loved that period of time. Talk about that for ages.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I mean, you can ask me anything about history. I mean, if it was after probably 1998, I might know.
Right. Okay.
But anything
before, that's not your cup of tea.
No, stick to geography.
I've got a really cool story about like the origins of like gestures in English and
yeah,
longbows.
I love that kind of stuff.
but that's probably not for the stream. It's really cool. Maybe I'll make a YouTube video about it. I think there's no reason I'm ever going to talk about it.
Do you know one thing I've always wanted to know, though?
Yeah, go.
Is the origins of gestures in England?
No, it's for, you know when you raise two fingers the other way, other than this?
Oh, yeah?
There's a reason for it, and it comes down to archery a long time ago. I'll explain it later. Anyway, let's talk about the bans and protects, because we're going back on in. What was taken away that surprised you there? I think everything felt very predictable. The only one that caught me by surprise was the MR6.
Not gonna lie, kind of forgot what they were.
I knew you had. I knew you had.
All I had in my mind was the archery of the two fingers the other way around it.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking is, was it the way they pulled it? Was it?
It was basically,
Tell me,
okay,
please,
here comes the abridged version is English longbowmen. They were very, very deadly. They would kill people from miles away. And so what they would do
Legolas.
is that when they were against their opponents, they would raise their two fingers to show the enemy that they still had them, because when the enemy caught them, they would chop off their fingers so they could no longer draw a bow. There you go.
Maybe you could have implemented that when someone uses the sparrow.
Oh, just maybe.
Would have been a nice one. We
haven't seen a sparrow too often. I think it's just Katanga who brought that one into play. But we're going straight on then into the action. It's time for Josh to try and make things happen on one side of things with the XR2, picking up that assault rifle once again. So weird to see these roles constantly changing, but it's Joe who steps up to the plate. That's 2 for him, and those two players are now down for 7.5. Vortex looking to add 1 for that. He does. Joe now gone. And we're going to be seeing this capture the flag game start off rather fast. Yeah,
Rated's behind enemy lines. He's going to get shut down. Joe, you tell me you're an assault rifle player, you pull out the VMP. I'm lost with him. I'm never claiming anything again with him. The great thing is, such a versatile player, picking up 2 kills to his name already, though. The score's still at 0-0. This is probably not so unfamiliar on capture the flag. Obviously, all the more points captured will be so important, but Moose gets out of that situation unscathed. Just a bullets in his back, but he's recharged.
He's still quite close to the opponents. There's 2 players in this mansion area. Catch a glimpse of one. Gonna try and find him. What on earth? Taking his time with that one is Vortex then, who does get eliminated. And now you can still see he's considering trying to break through. He does instead just kind of opt to keep hold of this house. And on the other side of things, on the other side of the spectrum, it's Hawkey, who is kind of the equivalent. And look at Reedy's angles.
You naughty, naughty boy, Reedy. But
he hasn't touched his movement just yet.
I know. Oh, his controller ran out, I reckon. He's back. Hawkey's there. Smoke's going down. You know someone's going to be at the back. And I love the play because Thermal is probably not going to be used. He's going to be spotted, but he's out of there. And oh my goodness, Reedy's giving chase. Let's hop on board with Reedy. He's gonna see him, takes him down, flag's gonna be reset. And on the other side, Joe has it.
Look at Joe go. There's almost no one there to deal with him. In fact, there's no chance, no hope. And that is gonna be the first point on the board for Epsilon. A big run from Joe. And it all came down to that attempt from Hawkey. There was no one to back him up. If he just had one player holding his hand, beckoning him into home, he could very well have succeeded. But Reedy's frag, 1 kill, and it does put 1 point on the board for Epsilon.
Vortex, he's gonna try what Hawkey couldn't do. But no, the man is Reedy. He is staying back. We talk about this static player. He's going to be Reedy. He's 3 kills to his name already. Racking up those score streaks won't be far off. But no, the man on your screen is Josh, member of Splyce here. He's going to see one get taken down by Rated. Playing very aggressive with that assault rifle. See what he's going to do. Heatwave's got to shut him down. Tough. And Vortex, again, the name keeps cropping up time and time again. Really impressive stuff.
Yeah, so far, so good. And Josh actually is the only player yet to get off the starting mark on either side. Still sitting on that 0 to 5. Of course, everyone has their games, and so far, not his. As you see, quite a stark contrast, really yet to die, sitting at 3 to 0. He's been playing that kind of very anchored role towards the spawn. Rated does find Josh again. That's his 6th death. He's just picked him up, and look at that flood of kills. Just Vortex, the last man breathing for Splyce, and that's going to give Epsilon a lot of room to move as Moose is making the move for flag number 2.
Yeah, very, very common spawn. It's very, very obvious. They always spawn in this bunker. Moose knows it. I know it, and he's going to take down one, but Bance is going to show what he's worth. He's 4 and 5. Josh, what is going on? Let's get off the 007 here.
Moose did have.
Josh Bond
did have a HCXD.
Moose had the HCXD.
So he could have brought that into. I mean, that could have been very nice to pick up those last 2 instead of changing. You know, I mean, hindsight's 20/20. What am I saying? 1 minute 50 though. Let's see what he's going to be doing with this one. The Annihilator is ready, and Reedy's doing a fantastic job of just sitting on those streaks. He's just waiting for the 175. 1 more, if not 2. With the flag return, he could very well pick it up.
Yeah, Moose just scouting out with his HC car. Does pick it up as the elevated. Bance gets taken down, and he's going to go for this flag pull. But he knows there's someone in his vicinity. Takes him down as well. Couldn't quite grab the flag, but he's out of there. He knows that spawn is in the bunker, and he's going for it. I don't think there's anyone that can stop him.
Look at those 2 players on the top side of the map. Who on earth are they? They're going to be trying to keep hold of this one as best they can. Reedy's going to be the one to defend it as the Moose is making the move. Who is it going to be to show face first? He's going to line it up with us. Big Bance gets the scythe. That's 2. He needs to find the flag. He does so. And the damage is done. Bance saves the day.
I mean, But he picked up the second, but the flag had already been put in. Like you said, the damage had been done, and it is 2-0. Epsilon now. I mean, Moose 11-2.
That's twice now. That is twice. I need to keep an eye on the scoreboard. I need a big, loud trumpet to tell me when they've scored. Otherwise, I'm just going to get confused.
I'll make the sound.
Can we get that? Maybe our producer can find a little trumpet sound effect on YouTube and play it every single time they score. But right now, not so good for me. 30 seconds, and Epsilon have got themselves 2-0. All good in the hood for them, and there's absolutely no hope, no prayer that Splyce can be making an impact.
Why am I watching Reedy?
I'm not sure.
But with someone a little bit more interesting. It is Reese, also known as Rated. He's going to take down one. Can he take down the second? Get shut down with 18 seconds left on the clock. Both flags in the base. Nothing's going to change too much, as we see there. Everyone just playing a little bit defensive. Now Splyce, they have a big mountain to climb to come back in this capture the flag.
Let's have a little look what they're going to be coming out. I mean, I know, I'm just getting worried about him because that's really not effective play. I mean, dying 10 times. He's in double digits, but not in the right way. And that's going to be a 2-0 first half then in favor of Epsilon. Swapping the sides to go into this one, and it looks like, you know, the potential of that fifth map is kind of looming already. Yeah. As we do see Splyce Course 2 up in the series. Redwood Search and Destroy could very well make its first appearance here in the European side of things. Wouldn't be surprised if it does. However, just to remind you guys at home as well, just joining us in the top left, Splyce 2, Epsilon 1. Epsilon currently in the lead 2-0 here in Capture the Flag. I want to jump on board with Josh. Let's give him some caster love. Let's try and give him a bit of a... Just saw Moose was 25 points away from his Hellstorm as well. You have to keep an eye on that so he could go full streaks. He's 12-2. Kind of gone under the radar, most definitely. And we're seeing if he can actually get out the radar with that lightning strike at any point. But Bance right now with the frag onto Rated. He's going to be starting strong already. You can see the push coming in through Dining Room, and it looks like Josh is going to be eating his words. Pushes in, and he is gone. 1 for 11. That is almost kind of the opposite of what Moose is sitting at with 13 for 2. And he's having a bit of a nightmare of his own. That's the Hellstorm secured. He's got everything. Everything is completely lit up golden for him. And Splyce are the ones that have to make the move now. Is it safe to say Epsilon are going to be playing a little bit more passive? 100%. Epsilon, I mean, look at Moose. Whoa. And when I wait for it, look at Reedy. And when I look at Joe. Oh. They're all playing so passively. I think Reedy's got like a ghillie suit on. He's pretending to be like a little bird's nest. I mean, Moose is so far, he's nearly out the map. He's getting warning saying, get back in, you will be killed. Reedy's fragging though. That's Josh down as well. He picked up 2 then from that tree position. He was just pretending to be one of the branches. And we'll see how much further they can get with this one. It's nice to see Moose on the move. Moose on the loose. Moose on the loose. Causing the havoc. I can't even follow up with Moose on the loose. That was so good. Josh, 1-12. Make it 2-12. He's getting more action. But no, Moose shutting him down. He's really the man of the moment. 15-2. I mean, Reedy as well, 8-1. He's playing the defensive role. But I like to see that Moose, he's not sat back with Reedy now. He's gone out there. He's got himself into it. But the flag has been taken. Who is that? He's going to be Rated. He's got the flag, he's got the scythe, he's got everything going. And look at that, 225 points for a scythe kill with the flag. That 100 is doubled. That plus 25 is a bonus. Yeah, now he's going to be trying to recover. Teammates trying to get that flag back on back to base. They do so. And Splyce at least getting that return coming on in, but still that 0 starting to be a bit of a problem for Splyce. 3 minutes on the clock and they need to find 2 runs. 1.5 minutes for each. It's not looking good. You've got a feel for Josh. I mean, look at him. He's running into basically a war zone. He's running into players that are just pre-aiming with assault rifles. It's so hard. I mean, 2 and 15 is hard to tell the story any different, but, you know, it's definitely not reflected in, you know, one-on-one kind of gunfights for sure. Annihilator, although just kind of whispered past him there. Hawkey he's just baiting him out almost. Well, he knows there's a time limit, right? He's just like, hurry up, get rid of that Annihilator. Now is my time to push. He does cast his eyes over towards this middle area. There's just so many people, so many crosshairs set on his location. Pushing through the smoke, though, it will be Josh. Let's see if he can go ahead and find himself his 3rd kill of the game. You heard me correctly. We are into the second half, and Josh is going to be scooping that flag up. Can he redeem himself with this run, though? He has Psychosis, and there's only one man he has to deal with. It will be Joe. Yeah, Joe, is he going to pick up the flag up and run, or is he just going to sit and camp? He's going to go for the camp. Hellstorm's come in. Who is that? I think it's Moose. But I want to go back on board Joe. He's pulled the flag. He's out of there. He needs to get the hell out of dodge. Vortex to scoop it up on the other side of things then. It's going to be a bit chaotic in the center of the map then, as he's going to be keeping hold of this one. Joe playing it passive. You know, survival is really the most important point here. He's going to get rid of the trophy with the heat wave and get rid of Hawkey. All too good. And actually, you know what? What happened is just a defensive move. Joe's managed to get it back to base, and now it comes down to Vortex, who has to pick up the survival here, but not happening. Rated managed to take him down, and this could very well be 3.
It is, and that is so solid for Epsilon. They're pushing it here to a game number 5, and who? None other than Moose. You know, people dubbed him a little bit of a... He had almost a poor season last season. He had that 6 months in America, but he's come back to Europe with a point to prove. He's 20-6 now. And I'm not saying he's 26. He's 20 kills to 6 deaths. Make it 21. Nobody's stopping. He's got that hate seeker available. Doesn't need it because his VMP right now is all he needs.
He said it to you. You know, you said you were speaking to him, and he was like, "No, I'm changing up. I'm gonna be that mad killer. I'm gonna be the kind of slaying god." And so far, so good for him. I mean, hitting 20 before anyone else is kind of anywhere near it. Just Rated. He's closing in on that at 17. That's another for Moose then. As he's looking for the battle in Kitchen. It's been won out by his teammate though, Reedy. Has 50 seconds left, and Splyce, no, this is going to search and destroy. They need to kind of screw their heads on tight now. Take the opportunity. Take these 50 seconds just to talk about it. Just say, right, we're going into search and destroy, boys. Let's accept, let's cut our losses, and let's talk about what is going to be going down in 40 seconds time.
Yeah, 3-0 for Epsilon, though. I mean, just reflecting on this, it's all been one-way traffic, and it all started for me with Reedy's kind of defensive style play, and just that first initial fly cap. When you go 1-0 up in CTF, you can really dominate. You can basically make the other team play your rules, you know, and you basically force them to do what you want. I mean, Reedy hasn't moved from his spawn in probably 4 minutes. He's just sat back here, taking it easy. And I will finish the game on him as it's gonna end. In fact, no, I'm jumping on board with Moose. Can he make it 25? Boom, straight in the back. Hawkeye sit down. Another one for Moose.
Moose bashing him in the caboose there with that pickup. And that's going to be the last second. Then Epsilon ending this one 3-0. And Splyce yet to make an impact. Josh, in fact, finding one of his very few frags into his teammate Bance to round that one out. Maybe a little bit of frustration being vented there as that gave Bance his 14th death. But look at the scoreboard. We're going to keep staring at that one because that 25 sticks out like a sore thumb.
I mean, every kill that Josh got, Moose got 5.
Wow.
Plays. Let's take a deep breath. Let's get composed. Splyce versus Epsilon. Search and destroy Redwood. And we're back to basics. M8 and Vesper. Let's get into this. Okay,
so M8's going to be protected. They're going to be picking that one up. Moose is actually the one that wants to bring that into play. I mean, we saw just how effective he was with that VMP just a second ago and captured the flag. Maybe, just maybe, he's just getting that M8 secured for his team, no less. Concussion immediately taken away by Bance. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to come so soon, considering, you know, the protects and stuff. You want to get those priority bans out of the way. But such an absence of protects so far in this game.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see will number 5. There we go. Will let me just.
What's going on?
We will change
here?
that. Whoever is tampering with the controller. But one thing I was gonna say was the sniper hasn't come in, and I was looking for it, and it still isn't in. But we will see whether it does. Let's get back. I have the right controller now.
Bingo was his name by Rapid Fire and High Caliber following out, as did the Flashbang. One of the only surprises here, like I look at that, Casmayo's over at that, and Kinetic Armor is going to be the single only surprise in this ban and protect. And that's not so much a surprise as it is just not a commonplace takeaway. And there goes Active Camo, 2 specialists taken away then for our Search and Destroy Redwood.
I like it. The snipers are still in play. The thermals are still in play. Bance, Reedy, give me some entertainment. I'm sure you will. Even if they don't, this game is going to be one to watch. I mean, we saw, and I'm referencing again to this because it's the only time I remember Redwood Search and Destroy, but Optic versus Elevate, is it? I've lost it. But basically, Nagafen, obviously, this M8 play that he was doing, and it was just going round and round in circles.
Just filling time.
Yeah, for me, this Redwood Search and Destroy, it's kind of like the ending of everything. From all I remember of Redwood Search and Destroy is so important. And now it comes down to this, guys. Splyce and Epsilon. Can Epsilon finish this? Can they be 4-0 in the league?
This is a big win for Epsilon. This would mean a whole lot because it gives them such a buffer. You can have a bad week if you sit at 4-0. Like, that's it, and you can stay at the top of the table. This is the beauty of it. I mean, we're finding out. I mean, we saw the stark contrast, of course, Infused conceding both of their losses this week, and Epsilon looking to do quite the opposite. If they pick up this win, they'd be good, all good, in the hood for week 2. Let's have a look at those rosters then for you. We go as we dive straight on into the action. It's going to be Splyce with Vortex Psychosis. Bance bringing in Glitch, a kind of staple to Search and Destroy. Firebreak is showing his weary head once again with the Heatwave on Hawkeye, and Josh then on the Overdrive.
On the flip side, exactly the same here for Epsilon. Moose, Joe, Rated, and Reedy. Everyone using the same things, the same weapons. I'm going to push it right now. Who do you think's taking this machine?
Oh, you know what's weird is I actually don't have
I
an
want
opinion.
a team, and I want a scoreline.
Okay, I need to think about this for a second. And how was the last Search and Destroy? It was like 6-2, wasn't it? 6 for Splyce. I do think we could very well be seeing Epsilon go undefeated in week 2.
And am I right in saying, was it 2-0 to Splyce, or was it 1-1?
No, it was, oh no, excuse me, 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. It went 2-1 to Splyce.
That's
this
right.
could be a 2 kind of game for Epsilon back-to-back. I'm going to join you. I'm going to say Epsilon are going to win, but I think this is going to finish 6-4. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. And yeah,
so ready to be proven wrong, though. Like, I am not going to be upset.
I mean, the percentage I've got of getting that right precisely is very, very low. My maths isn't that good.
50-50, baby. Let's have a look, though. Score streaks time as we're about to be loading on into our 5th and final game here. It has been a spectacular start to our 4th play day here in the COD World League for Europe, and now it's time to see if Hawkey can get revenge. The storylines do not stop here. Reedy going up against his old roster, Hawkey against his. These two players chopped and changed, and now we get to see them battle it out. Reedy's back home with his brother-in-arms rated. Hawkey already kind of making his name for himself in this Splyce roster, and now they have an opportunity to knock Epsilon down a peg or 2 with this win.
Yeah, my eyes are all on Joshua Lee Shepherd. For me, is he going to get more kills in the Search and Destroy than he did in the Catch the Flag? He only managed to rack up 5. I have a lot of faith in this guy. He's you know, he's come so far and he's been playing for so long. He knows Search and Destroy like the back of his hand. He's got the right teammates surrounding him. He's got the fresh young blood, as well as that powerhouse that he's Bance. And I'm going to stay on board with Josh as we go into the attack. So just flick through.
Alrighty then, that's a lot of M8s and VMPs. Let's see then who is going to be making the most of that assault rifle as we start this one off. Search and Destroy, boys, you know it. That kill, that opening kill means so much. That numbers advantage is crucial. But look at this rush. He's not ready for it. That's going to be Reedy going on the offensive straight off the bat with the VMP. He could have find a second, and Reedy looks to be coming out of the gate swinging as he's so keen to start this game off with a bang.
The best thing about that is Reedy's popped in, got 2, and then just legged it. He's literally out of there. I can't even go on board with Hawkey. We said Epsilon were good at Search and Destroy, and Reedy's just given us a masterclass here on round number 1, while Joe is going for a wall run himself. He finds himself in the enemy spawn. That's all about Reedy. Those first 2 picks off the start, he just popped in, shut him down, and he was out of there.
Interestingly enough, picking up the reflex. Where do you stand on the reflex ELO debate?
Honestly, it doesn't matter for me.
You're just a 50-50 kind of guy.
I honestly think it's a preference thing.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. It is just kind of where you prefer it. ELO sometimes can get lost on the kind of more yellowy maps like Fringe and stuff. You can be like, hang on a second, where is that orange dot? But no, jumping back into this one, I don't want to miss a second of the action. We'll come back to that debate in a second. Nice route from Joe. He's going to come and have a little bit of a drop on 1. Look at this again. Epsilon looking fierce. They could very well be getting that bomb down immediately. The EMP's thrown out just to give him that information. He knows one's there as well as getting the bomb down. The audacity to continue the plant with the knowledge that there's a player just around the corner. In fact, there's 2. Little to his knowledge. But Epsilon, 4 players still standing and just 2 for Splyce.
Yeah, the call-outs will be going in. He'll be going, I've EMP'd him. He's got Flat Jacket. I put 1 in. And now he knows there's only 1 left. He's putting the challenge in, but little does he know. I mean, Bance, I know exactly what he did there, to be fair to him. He was trying a very, very special kind of route. I'll try and show it on the next side. But he was trying to go round this building on your left, going right round it to the bomb site. It's tricky to do.
I didn't know that was possible.
I've not mastered it myself yet, but neither has Bance.
So clearly. It's one of those kind of huge risk, huge reward. He would have had the drop on
I mean, he could have got right around the back and started maybe a ninja.
Yeah, I'd have been up for that.
We will see. I'm going to see if Joe... So just on the right-hand side here, you see the...
behind the truck?
Yeah, just be at this building on the right. We're going to go on board with the attacking team.
Yeah, anyway, let's have a look at this one then, because there is going to be Splyce then on the attack. Looks like the bomb's going to be kind of orientating itself towards B. Looks like we're going to be seeing exactly why this map is called Redwood, because there's an abundance of trees, especially towards that side of the map. I say that, actually towards this A side. There's a whole load of players coming around. 2 players going on the offensive. Bance is going to make the call. He's going to be pressured down, and he's actually going to be able to pick up this one. Oh, no, he's not. 1 man bleeding internally on Epsilon, but still no frag exchange. And now we have to see what Vortex and his compadre can do as they start to approach and encroach on this B site. Are they going to get the bomb down here? They are. Yeah,
I mean, the call out of Bance. Bance is basically right at the back of the map. He's watching their flank. They pushed on to B. Tactical play, but for now, importantly, Splyce not a kill to the name, and Epsilon not a death, of course, goes hand in hand.
System work, man. That's 3. just keeping them completely safe and sound on that. And now there's 30 seconds left. I'm starting to get worried for Epsilon. This retake has to come very fast, thick and fast. And look at this, great clipping from Vortex, just staying alive. Just stay alive, bro. The time is your best friend. He's going to be pressured. He's very well going to take a quick hit from Reedy. Josh goes down to Joe as well. Now all of a sudden, problem starting to brew for Bant and Hawkey. And Hawkey can't hold the line. He's going to be trying to go for the high. He is a player proning on it. Who's coming from behind? I'm getting so damn lost. But Moose, he's punching in the digits. Where are Splyce? 1 second left on it. He's gone and done it. 2 players right from under their noses. The Ninja comes in and Epsilon take 3.
Yeah, I mean, just the guts that takes for Moose just to get on it.
What was Splyce looking at?
I mean, they were distracted by, I believe it was Rated, coming up behind them. They came from the water, jumped out like the Loch Ness Monster, and took down, I don't think he even got one. No, he didn't make 1 kill, and Moose, it was just a distraction play. Really, really well played from Epsilon. But big props to Moose there, just jumping on that defuse.
Everything to me pointed to that going Splyce's way.
Oh yeah,
it should have been a real kick in the teeth.
Yeah, and when you're 2-0 down, you haven't got a kill to your name. I mean, they put 4 kills on the bounce there. They made the 4 kills, but didn't go their favor. Epsilon 3, Splyce here, and look at Joe again. Same aggressive playstyle, time and time again. He's got to get on that bomb. He has the EMP and grenade in his back pocket.
It's all good from the boys at Epsilon. He's got the bomb down completely untouched. He's even got overdrive if he wants to go for some sort of mad flank play, but instead it's just rinse and repeat, EMP, throwing out his nade. He's going to keep things under wraps, and already just 35 seconds for the Splyce boys to try and play for the retake. He's just leveled the numbers out as well. Vortex is now gone. That's going to be 0 to 4 from him, yet to make an impact in this game.
Yeah, and I could be watching round 1 again. This is literally the exact same. Joe, he made this wall run, went to B, planted, EMP'd out, grenaded out, went in, and he's won the round. But now it's all Joe. He has to get the kill. He's got to drop it right on him. He's got flak jacket, and he needs to make this kill. He's surely going to be watched and overwatched by Josh. He's got to make that round. I mean, for me, when Joe pulled that HCXD car out, I didn't even notice his other teammates went down, to be fair to him. But Splyce on the board now. That shows the power of flak jacket, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that is why flak jacket is such a highly contested pick, or banner, or protect rather, during Search and Destroy, because that has just brought around, single-handedly, 1 perk has brought a round home for Splyce. Much needed as well. That pick gives them off the starting mark, then 1 to 3, as it's now their turn to be on the attack. What's infused, excuse me, Epsilon going to be bringing that red, just getting me a little bit kind of confused, but we're going to be seeing them, how they choose to present themselves on their approach to defend.
Vortex, we have sang your praises time and time again this series. 0-4 at the moment. Who is rocking the HC car? It's got to be... Who is that? Has it been blown? Oh, it's been blown up already. Never mind.
You can kind of get a little unexcited about that one, as no more mad driving just yet. The bomb's loose. Keeping it nice and central in middle. And what's caught your eye there, Phil?
Someone in the water. It's Joe. He could sneak up behind him, but he's gonna have a water fight if he goes through this stinky hole. But no, he's just keeping on guard. Still 4v4. 50 seconds on the clock. Looks like the bomb has been rotated. Let's go on board back with the attack inside. It's gonna be Josh. This is what I talked about the A-bomb site. It's now the challenge, and it's a 3 versus 1. He's right at the back there. If they can just push him back, which they're not going to be able to do it. Or they have done. Technically, they have, but the kill hasn't been made.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to go for the 1 extra bullet would have been enough to pick that one up. Instead, though, we're going to be seeing the bomb go down with all 4 on either side still standing. This is going to be a bloodbath, Phil.
Yeah, and Bant watching the flank here. Josh is going to be on the... And look at Epsilon, literally 4 go in. Moose makes 1. Bant answers back, 30 seconds left. He's going to be a 3v3.
Let's see what you got. Bant's Reed's going to slip off. He's gone. Bullet to the brain is all he took, and now 29 seconds. And Epsilon, this retake seems to have hit a bit of a brick wall. Joe and Moose need to break through, and it looks like Joe has taken a step in the right direction from behind. The call is made, and the frag is 2. Bant finds it with the M8, switches to the RK5, and now time is becoming a bit of a problem for Moose. 15 seconds. He needs to try and get 2 frags and a defuse. He knows it's not likely. He knows this round is won, and Bant has played it perfectly. That's 2-3.
Yeah, really well played from Bant there. Not only knocking Reedy off the map, but picking a couple of kills up himself. Was too much for Moose. Moose obviously at a massive disadvantage here, challenging him. But Bant's M8 is too strong. You can take the Man of War. You can take the XR2. This man can wield any assault rifle. Yeah. And leveling things out. I'm glad it's closer. You know, we saw a 3-0 very quickly towards Epsilon. Splyce answering back with 2 themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that Splyce could very well, if they'd have conceded these, they could have been like at death's door. This could very well be Epsilon about to pick up match point, but these 2 rounds have been picked up and they've stabilized.
Yeah, will Joe jump off the bridge, wall run on the rock?
Route. No, change of plan.
I mean, the EMP's hit, so he knows that they're there. He's going to use that EMP and grenade early. He could connect here. He's going to be shot by Josh, who's come through the water. Wow, what a surprise there. Josh making a big play there for Splyce. First blood to them. 1 minute on the clock. Time is ticking.
Yeah, and this is one of those few times you are going to be seeing that exchange in water. It's not so common. Of course, we don't get to see that Metro map. Now Rated. Trying to revenge his fallen comrade in water. He's going to land the tag, but not enough. And now Joe's going to maybe have the drop over the bridge. He is. Beautiful play from Josh, as that's going to be 2. And now Epsilon have to work at a rather huge disadvantage. Reedy's coming around to try and just do his best to find Josh, but he's on a tear. Now 3. This could very well be the ace for Josh, but he doesn't care about that. He just cares about that 3rd round. Vortex does go down, and again, not made an impact in any of the rounds so far. 0-5. And it does come down to that last 29 seconds with Reedy.
1 versus 4 is made up 1 versus 3. 25 seconds. Not going to come up against each of the enemy team is going to face one in middle map, though.
Yeah, there's a player just to his left, but I know he hasn't got the time. He's getting hunted down by Josh. That is going to be the ace. And it's such a crucial time to be picking that one up. He finds the equalizer. That's going to make it 3-3. It took a while, but he did manage to find that 4th. The VMP was just all too quick. And he shreds a kind of unexpected Reedy then towards window.
Yeah, really trying to do his best. Interesting enough, 3 rounds back-to-back, either side. Epsilon took that early lead. Splyce bounced him back into it. If anyone has the advantage, it is Splyce. Now, they're the ones who are racking up the score streaks. They're the ones on the kill streaks, of course, but Josh has that HC car available. Just want to see, that's a 2-2 split for Epsilon, but 2 have gone right through mid-map. No one's gone to B. Reedy, is that Reedy pushing up again?
He's gone.
Yeah, he went for his initial round 1 play. They read him like a book.
Yeah, they're not going to be falling for the same trick twice, it seems. As I say that, you have to remember what Joe has been up to as well for Epsilon on the attack. But no, let's have a little look what Josh has got in store for us after just having one of the most influential rounds you have for a while. Now sitting at 7-4. Still 60 seconds on the clock, and it does look like Bance is again going to be drawing blood. Whenever this A site comes into play, he is there, he is present, and that was his 7th kill so far picked up on a bit of a slaying mission as we really reach that 50-second mark. And numbers, this time favoring Splyce. Could they take the lead for the first time?
They potentially could. I mean, they could be taking the lead while Vortex is 0-6. 2 versus 2. If anyone needs to pick things up, it is Vortex. But now, Hawkeye, 1 versus 1 as kills are exchanged. They're going to come head-to-head, Machine.
He has the heat wave. It's just going to come down to who's got the aim, the glitch, and the heat wave comes in. Can he respond? He does! Rated wastes that glitch. Couldn't make the kill happen. And Splyce take the lead in this best of 5. We're in that 5th map. We're closing the gap. And Hawkeye, he's just panicked. The heat wave did not connect. But look how quickly he adjusted.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically a game-changing moment. They both used their specialist. The glitch, he actually reacted quicker because he used his glitch. He got out of range of that heat wave. But the reactions of Hawkeye came off better. And what, again, we see back-to-back Splyce, 4 rounds. Vortex still 0-6.
Yeah, they are 4 rounds. They are leading a Search and Destroy game 4v3. Absolutely insane from Splyce. Great, strong individual play from Josh and Bant in particular. Hawkeye, though, picking up that clutch just to show just how valuable he can be to his team. And talking to Heatwave, Reedy has it now. Of course, is Rated's compadre. We'll be seeing if he can use it a bit later on. But right now, the EMPs have landed. They know that the bomb is present. It's going to be Joe who does get that down the nades. And not going to be touching him. Where are the trophy systems when you need them? He's been brought incredibly low. HCXD down. He's still breathing. And he's going to be trying to deal with Splyce. This still is a 4v4 in the round with just 30 seconds left to go.
Yeah, he was in a tough position. And now Splyce, 4 versus 2. Make that 4 versus 3. Rated's got to answer back. He's too clever for that psychosis. He knows which one you are, Vortex. You're going 0-7, bud. And it's 1 versus 2.
James Bond Vortex, though, too, to find Rated and Moose. And, whoa, he's so damn tagged up, but it's not going to be enough for Hawkeye, as he does just need to try and pick up this defuse. It's not looking likely. 4-4, as Epsilon managed to equalize. Splyce not going to be given that one. It felt like it was all good in the hood, though, as they had their numbers. They knew where 2 players were on the site. However, that was a real solid kind of defense from Epsilon.
And the game changer for me was there was no trophy systems down at B.
Yeah.
Because Joe has been dominant behind that bomb. He found himself getting grenaded. He had to change position. He wasn't comfortable. 1 trophy system would have stopped that. 4-4 going into round number 9. Let's hop on board with Vortex. Let's give you some love. You've got 2 EMPs. You've got 2 frag grenades. You're going to prove me wrong and you're going to Twitch class. Now you have 2 trophy systems.
Well, you were asking for trophies. He's going to bring it to them.
Yep.
I mean, it's so necessary at this point in time, as now it could not be closer, and this game is just going to be going right down to the wire. Josh looks to be taking one out of the running, though. It's Moose all long gone. He's going for that same route that has worked in the past for Joe on the other side of things, this time with a VMP.
For me, I'm watching Vortex play, and all that comes to mind is hesitation. He's just a bit slower than everyone, but he's got the trophy systems down. Is he going to pull something off? I want to see. What are they doing? He's going to come head-to-head here. Vortex with the bomb. He's got a few points to his name. 125. He needs the confidence. He's going to get taken down. Rated. Precise shooting. Let's see what Reedy can do.
Can Splyce win this? Oh my god, they can. Hawkeye with a double. Josh gets it before we can even jump on board. You can see those fabulous orange trousers now lying, littering the battlefield. 11 for Josh, and you can see him pick up that 11th right here, right now, as he does just pick it up on towards Joe. See you later. And that's going to be Splyce taking the lead. And they're doing it 4 versus 3. Do I need to remind you that Vortex, yes, he's got the bomb down, but that's not enough. He's got 2 plants to his name, and that is it.
I mean, Josh, 11-6.
Here we go.
He's only, 7-4, sorry, I thought he was only just. But really, everyone else on his team is pretty much double positive.
Are we seeing around 11? Are we going to see it go quite literally all the way? It's that 5th and final deciding game. And already Josh is drawing blood again. Screw first pick PT. It's first pick Josh at this point, as he's done it yet again.
Josh, he got 5 kills on the capture flag. He's hitting 12 now in Search and Destroy, really making up for it. Lightning Strike comes in, and it takes down none other than Raid. It's all up to Moose Machine.
Moose has everything to do. 4 to find Epsilon. Could very well be waving goodbye to that 0 losses that they currently sit on. He's being hunted down, but that's 2 for Moose. There's a 3rd as well. He saw him. He's got Psychosis. It's going to enable him to survive for just a second now. With the bomb is loose and he has time. Picks up a Cuda. He's got 17 bullets in the chamber. Can he make something happen here? Can he make something truly magical to take us into the 11th? I am prepared to be surprised here, Moose.
I'm so excited right now. This is a potential 1 versus 4. But he's found himself in a spot of trouble. The good thing about Splyce is they're sticking together. Oh no, this could be trouble. It's 30 seconds left, Machine.
They need to push, though. They're not going to be pushing for the intel. As soon as that bomb goes down, he's going to get hunted. He needs to be ready for this one. He come around the corner. Can he get away? He can't. Vortex finds it. He's only got 2 frags, but that final frag secures it for Splyce. So crucial. Picks up the frag when it matters. And bye-bye, Epsilon. You've got yourself a loss.
Yeah, Joe, unfortunately, leaving the game. You know, he won't be happy with that. I understand. However, Vortex, I mean, you don't get a kill all 11 rounds. You pop into, all 10 rounds. You pop into round 11, pick 2 up yourself. Not too bad, not too shabby. Makes it a little bit, if he would have lost that, how kind of frustrating must it have been.
If Vortex was thrown into a 1v1 and then lost it, but no,
oh, no,
didn't happen. He picked it up, and Splyce, they just bounced straight back. They lost to Giants.